Alright guys, it's CLYNEVERSEDITS. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use keyframes properly. Let's get it. Alright, so welcome back. On today's episode, we're going to be learning how to use keyframes properly for all your content. But first, you need to understand what keyframes are. What are keyframes? Keyframes are ways of moving your camera without actually moving your camera. You know, something like this. Yeah, exactly. So that's what keyframes are. So very quickly, let's get into it straight up on CapCut. I'd love you guys to open your CapCut app so we can get straight into it. Okay, all right, now that we're on our CapCut app, I've literally picked 4 type of content to use keyframes for, because you could literally use keyframes for 4 type of content, from head talking content to product videos to filmmaking and also motion graphics. But I'm not going to be teaching the one for motion graphics and the one for filmmaking on this episode. I'm going to move that to my pro class. So if you have not registered for my pro class, please do well to hit me up. It's starting just in 2 weeks. But I've picked one for air talking videos and for product videos. So let's get straight into it. All right, so very quickly, we want to learn how to use keyframes for air talking video. This is an air talking video, so we want to learn how to use keyframes for this. But first, I want the keyframe to match the mood. So first, I need to show you where keyframes are.
Opening a new.
All right, so this is an air talking video right here, and this guy is literally talking about his mother and, you know, a story about, you know, whatever. But right now we want to give a bit of a emotional feel. We want to give some emotional feel, some emotional tension onto the video with keyframes. So what do? We had a music, probably background music that has this kind of slow emotional feel, and then we had the keyframes. So straight up, want to add the music. What do? We click on add audio right here. We click on add audio right here. We can look for probably a song that matches the mood. All right, so we just found an audio that matches the vibe. So let's just add the audio straight into it. Let's see. Let me just mute the video right here. I want to listen to the audio because I just extracted the audio. So I'll just click right here, and I'll click on the audio. So let's view the audio right here. All right, so I like something like this, and I want to add it onto the video. So this is what we do right here. So we'll just add the fade on the audio a little bit. So this is keyframes. If you can see this diamond look like thing on the screen, that is what keyframes are. So let's say, okay, right here, we can just lower the audio a little bit.
Still growing up. My mother sells provision. She still does, by the way.
All right, so let's just do this. So you click on keyframes right here. And let's say we want to make this emotional slow zoom in. This is what we'll do right here. We'll just pick here.
Customer will do that my mom is selling.
All right, so let's read the difference right here.
Still growing up. My mother sells provision. She still does, by the way. But it happens that almost every month, there is always somebody that's always opening a new shop, selling the same thing that my mom is selling.
Can you see that slow zoom in? Literally, that's what keyframes are. It makes the video a little bit more emotional. You need to know how to use keyframes. Sometimes you can use keyframes for fast intros. Sometimes you have to use them for slow intros. I'm going to give you another example right here. All right, so this is a fast intro type of.
Losing money.
Can you see that beginning part?
Losing money is nice.
Let me give you one more time. Let me show you guys one more time.
Losing money is nice.
Can you see that? That's kind of a fast keyframe. That's what a fast keyframe looks like. That's more or less of an hook. Somebody's trying to like grab your attention. So how do you do that? By doing this. I'm just going to extract this audio right here. If I want to extract this audio, I can just click extract audio right here, and then I have the audio ready. So I move it back here to this one. Then I remove the sound of this one. Okay, so if I want to do that, what I'll do is I'll click here. I'll click on keyframes. I'll zoom in. Then when I want to zoom out, I'll do this. I'll just take it back. Now let's watch.
Losing money is nice. Painful.
So, but to add a little bit of feel to it, you can just click on graphics right here. Now this graphics, most times I use them for motion graphics. This keyframe graphics right here. it's more or less of you adding speed to your camera movements. Literally, that's what it is. So let me just show you guys the difference between normal and using keyframes graphics right here. Okay, so let's just click on cubic in right here. Let me sound to this a little bit. I can just click here, move it a little bit down. Now let's watch this.
Losing money is not.
Now, see that was a little bit fast. Now let me not take it back. I'm just going to take it back so you guys can see the difference.
Losing money
Can you
is
see the
not.
difference? Now let me take it back again.
Losing money
Let's
is
see.
not.
Now let me choose another one.
Stop selling that.
Losing money is not.
These differences are very, very small. You won't see them except while doing something like motion graphics, but also they are very, very important, and they just give a little bit of taste, a little bit of, salt and the rest to your videos and make your video look a little bit more interesting. And yeah, so literally that is what
My mother
keyframes
sells
for
provision.
air talking videos are. Let's say we just want to like make a little bit of, want to give it a little bit of feel right
There
here.
is always somebody that's always opening a new shop, selling the same thing that my mom is selling. Because the developing area.
So this part, let's say I've zoomed it to the peak, I can just zoom out back, back to its original form and go right here and just put it down here. Okay, so let's see the difference now.
There is always somebody that's always opening a new shop, selling the same thing that my mom is selling. Because the developing area. When people now come to her and tell her things like, shop will see,
okay, so can you see that now there's a zoom in? We know how to do the zoom in keyframes, we know how to do the zoom out keyframes. So that is what using keyframes are for. That is the basic settings. That is the basic way of using keyframes. Literally, I'm not going to like go deep into it because if you want to learn that, you'd obviously have to join my pro class. But that is the basic ways of using keyframes. There are keyframes are just used of sometimes making emphasis on some video. Let me check something like this. Let me show you something like this right here.
Losing money is not as painful as you think. But you know what hurts? Making money and watching your bank chop.
Now, another thing I want to talk about is the keyframes from B-rolls. Now, what are B-rolls? B-rolls are literally, now, if the video you're watching right now is an A-roll. So let's say I want to talk about something like chicken. I can just make a B-roll of, let's say, okay, I'm talking about saying chicken are beautiful animals, good in the farm and all of that. I can just put a B-roll, as you are seeing on the screen right now, a B-roll of a chicken probably on a farm. That is what B-roll is. Let's assume this guy right here is talking about his mother. I can just obviously look for a B-roll of a mother probably selling provision on the
My mother
stores.
sells provision. She still does, by the way. But it happens that almost every month, there is always somebody that's always opening a new shop, selling the same thing that my mom is selling.
Now, can you see what just showed on the screen? That is what a B-roll is. Now, keyframes could be also used to move the B-rolls. Now, if you look at something like this thing, all these effects on the screen, these are B-rolls. She was talking about outbreak.
But you know what hurts? Making money and watching your bank chop.
Now, all these are movements done on keyframes. And I can teach you all this if you join my pro class. Same thing, the last thing I want to talk about very quickly is using keyframes on product videos. Now, I've noticed that a lot of you don't know how to do, products videography, and look how smooth this video is. This is how your basic videography for products videos should be. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just add some music to it to make it interesting a little bit. All right, so I've added a keyframe, I've added an audio to it, and now we're going to be editing it right with keyframes. So I've picked some particular products, as you can see right here. I've picked some particular products for you guys to see. So what we're going to be doing is we're literally just going to be adding keyframes to all of them to show you how keyframes are used. Now, there is something they call the fast usage of keyframes, and there's something they call the slow usage of keyframes. The fast usage of keyframes are used for speed ramps. I don't know if you have ever heard of anything that is called speed ramp. I'm going to put it on the screen right here. Can you see that? That is what a speed ramp is. So, but on this particular video, I'm going to be showing you the slow usage of keyframes. The fast usage of keyframes, which is a speed ramp, is going to be taught on my pro class. So yes, I just added some audios now for you to see. Obviously, this is the audio I'm going to pick. So right here, I'm going to show you guys how to properly edit, just in a basic way, how to edit your product videos. They are not hard at all. So after adding all these videos, this is what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to try to make the song match, with my videos, and also I'm going to be using keyframes to show you how this are properly used. So let me just do this for you guys to see. Okay. So I'm going to call it right here. I'm going to click on this place. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to zoom in. Now, right here, I'm going to continue the movement right here. Click on this place. Move this one down. And now let's check it now. Now I'm going to click on black fade. I tell you, keep the transition simple. Simple is pro. Except you're doing filmmaking or motion graphics, keep your transitions constant, consistent, and simple. So let's check it. Let's just use something like black fade right here, and I'll get it a little bit. Now let's see the difference. Now perfect. Now it's about to hit another sound. So the next sound is about to hit. I'll add another product video. So literally that is how to make any product video, any simple content product video. You just add another. When it's time for the next sound, the next beat, you add another product video. So let me just show you guys right here. So I click on black fade again, increase it right here. I click on keyframes. Remember, we have one keyframe right here. So the next one is not showing right here. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to zoom in, shift it right here. Now let's see the difference. And I'm going to continue the same process for the rest of them so you can see. As you can see, very simple, very clean. Videography is clean, sound is clean. I don't really need to add any type of color grading. I can do a little bit of color grading, but I don't want to tamper with the original product, so I don't need to do too much of that, except I'm doing something like filmmaking or nature-wise or air talking videos. So yes, literally these are ways of using keyframes, basic ways of using keyframes. If you don't understand anything, please, you can always reach out to me. And if you want to join my pro class, you can also always reach out to me. Tomorrow, in my next video, I'm going to be teaching you how to color grade properly. So if you haven't checked out my videos, you should probably subscribe so you can see something like this next time. I'll see you on the next one. It's CLYNEVERSEDITS here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.